couple days ago I posted this video of turning a wooden bowl, this one right here, on a table saw with this crazy little jig. And we're going to do some more with that today. I've got these blanks out of a big chunk of cherry out back, and I am going to go ahead and turn some bowls on this today, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how this works, the physics of it. But for a second, and I apologize, I need to touch on something real quick. What I do in my shop is a little crazy, and that's what happens when you give a redneck an education. Crazy things happen. What can I say? I'm new here, been around for 4 or 5 months on YouTube and just figuring it all out. And I've had a lot of wonderful comments, really appreciate it, but there's been a couple guys that have come on, and seen what I do, and it scared them, and they had nothing but negative comments, safety this, safety that. Safety's important in a shop. You do what you feel comfortable with, and I'm going to do what I feel comfortable with. But I'm not going to come into your shop and tell you what to do. You come into mine and try and tell me what to do, I will delete you. It's that simple. We're all grown-ups, act like one. Yep, I'm going to do what I want to do, you do what you want to do, and if you guys want to check or stick around and see some really crazy things, stick around. If you're just going to have negative things to say about it, go somewhere else. I got no time for you. None. Okay? All right. That being said, today, we're going to turn some wooden bowls on this crazy jig. Next month, we're going to turn a perfect sphere on the table saw. Seriously. Anyway, let me get this video started. I hope you all enjoy it. So I had this huge piece of cherry out back that I'd cut in half. I'd run a skill saw down both sides and use wedge to split it the rest of the way because I don't have big equipment here. And then I ran it through my table saw. I ran the slab through to get a nominal width that I could work with. You see me doing that here. That thing was heavy. Once I finished doing my passes and splitting that piece, I went over to my table saw, put the big sled on, marked out segments I needed to make the wooden bowl blanks. And then just cut them there on the big sliding table. I didn't know I could move that fast. Once I had all the blanks, or the big sections that I was going to use for turning, I just went ahead and set my table saw width to 2 3/8 and just shaved off the face. Now, of course, my blade isn't tall enough to go through everything, so after I completed that on the table saw, I went over to my bench and just used an axe to kind of peel off what was left, and then just cleaned it up. Now off camera, I went and marked all the centers and drilled my little 1/4-inch holes on the centers. And then took the blanks over to the table saw again with a miter sled and just knocked the corners off to get rid of some of that excess material. The fun stuff is about to happen. Alright, I got everything set up and I'm just about to attach a blank, but I wanted to show you how I do that. I put a center mark on both sides of the blank, and then I drill a 1/4-inch pilot hole, about a 1/4-inch deep. And then on my plate here, I have a 1/4-inch rod sticking out, and that helps me center it. Because I have to attach these upside down, I can't really find the center or see it very well. So I just run that little 1/4-inch rod into that, and then I screw it on via some Kreg screws, hardwood Kreg screws, and that's what holds this whole thing in place. And I know it seems kind of scary because you have two tangential forces, or two things moving around in circles in different opposing directions, and it seems like there's a lot of energy. But the point in fact is, the surface contact area is a little bit under an inch. So only at one point the blade's only contacting about 3/4 of an inch at a time. So it's not like it's getting a whole lot of contact. And it seems kind of spooky because of all the the forces that are involved, but there's really not that much contact. And I have a guard right here. I don't know if you can see that, but this guard right here only lets about a 1/4 inch of that blade protrude. So even if all hell breaks loose, this is only going to sink down a 1/4 of an inch. And this is not a big industrial saw. This is a inexpensive crossover from Home Depot. So it does not have the kind of force that's going to push this thing out and throw it into the neighborhood, you know, into the neighborhood, or it's not going to make this thing explode. It's just going to stop. So I'm really not too concerned about, you know, having this thing blow up on me. Anyway, let me get it attached and we'll run it through, see how she does. Okay, this is my favorite part. I've put the video in fast forward. In real time, it takes about 1 minute and 10 seconds to cut one of the blank's exterior shapes into the bowl shape. It's surprising how little force you actually feel through the drill. There's more, you feel more centrifugal vibration than you actually do from the blade contacting the bowl itself. Here I'm just going to use a piece of sandpaper to clean it up while I still have it on the drill. It's just easier that way. And we're going to switch angles here in a second so you can actually see where the blade contacts the bowl as it's cutting. Now at this angle, you can actually see the blade contacting the bowl. And to begin with, there's only a couple of teeth in contact. And as the shape progresses, more teeth contact the blank. But there's probably only 7, 8 teeth at most contacting the blank at one time. So there's very little surface area contact. So not a whole lot of force. And as long as you go slow and steady, it goes right through without any trouble at all. And here I'm just cleaning a cleanup pass. Okay, what I've done is repositioned my jig and flipped the bowl upside down and fastened it in the same way. And I just turn the drill on and then slowly run the blade. I put a 7 1/4 inch blade in there and I slowly run that up into it. And that creates a cup like this one right here. I've installed a 7 1/4 inch blade for this process, and it's surprising how much more force you actually feel doing that than you do when you're curving the outside of the bowl. Now, a jig like this isn't meant to replace a traditional lathe. This is just playing around. I mean, there's no way this jig could do some of the same things a traditional lathe could. Could it? Here I'm just throwing on a little finish while I still have it on the jig. A lot easier to finish it when it's spinning. And 4 perfectly turned bowls on the table saw. It's a pretty neat little jig. I've had a lot of fun with it. Hey guys, thanks for watching today. Obviously, that jig, you know, is not meant to replace a traditional lathe. There's so much that you can do with a lathe that you just couldn't touch with that thing. But don't let it not having a lathe stop you from trying some stuff, you know, and that's really the point I'm trying to get across with my channel, is that just because you don't have, you know, a bunch of fancy equipment doesn't mean you can't try a few things. So don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to, you know, use your imagination, be creative, be safe. Don't do something if you're not comfortable with it. And thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, hey, I'm on Facebook now. I'll put a link below. You know, I post a lot of fun stuff, some of the furniture I build, some of the other jigs and stuff I do. Check it out. Plus, it's easy to talk back and forth that way. Again, thanks a lot, everybody. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the show with the lathe thing.